AC very often unless we're going to do aluminum MIG. And remember, there's only certain instances when we really need AC, and it's usually for exotic materials. And aluminum, titanium, magnesium, and we're usually going to do it for TIG. Okay? Usually, when we're talking about steel, we're talking about DC polarity, either negative or positive. And that goes for stainless steel as well. Okay? When we start to get very, very particular into like particular processes, each polarity will give more or less penetration depending on the electrode that you use and how you apply it. Okay? All right, but you guys wanted to know about some symbols. All right, so let's go back to basics for symbols, guys. All right, we ready?
Yep.
You guys are good at this. So, what must I have to have for a symbol? A reference line. Do, 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 do. Which way does my reference line go?
Left to right. Left to right.
Horizontally.
Yeah.
I looked. Okay, what must I also have?
Arrow.
An arrow. Doesn't matter which way it points.
No.
Why not? What is my arrow telling me? What is it pointing to? Where to weld. Good. And the bottom side is called the arrow. The top is the
Other side.
other side. Good.
Unless you're.
No, well, not that one. Not that one. We gotta wait. All right. What else must we have?
Symbol.
Symbol. All right. What symbol are we going for today? Fillet? We're gonna try fillet first, okay?
Sure.
What does a fillet symbol look like?
Straight edge on the straight edge on the left.
Otherwise, come on, peanut gallery. Otherwise, you're an asshole. All right, let me put this in a different color. Hold on. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, now if I put it on both sides, what is it called? Double fillet. Good. All right, what do I have to the left of my symbol? What is that?
Measurements.
Okay, great.
Dimensions.
Give me something more explicit.
Dimensions of your weld.
Size.
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 Yeah, that one.
How is the fillet weld size determined?
Inches.
Well, not always, but yeah, okay. What else? How is it determined? If I were the inspector and I went up to your weld and says, this weld is out of code, and you said, but I measured it like this, how would I measure it?
Like gauges, welding gauges.
Yeah, but you, as the welder looking at it, how do I know? I know how to make this. How do I make that determination that it is the correct size?
Space between.
No, we're not talking about that yet.
You're measuring the what is it? The base or the shortest point?
The shortest leg.
Yeah, there you go. The leg.
Ah, okay, so we know this is our root, right? That first pass, that joint right there, okay. And then let's say our weld is like this. What is where my base metal meets my weld? It is called the toe. Good. I have one on the top and I have one on the bottom. So from this toe to the root and this toe to the root, they are the leg. Good. And it is measured by the shortest leg there. Okay, shortest leg. So I assume, I'm making the assumption that it is, if I ask for a 1/2 inch weld, it is what? A 1/2 inch high and a 1/2 inch wide. Unless otherwise specified. Fillet welds are always equal. Now, some of you have already figured this out. Horizontally, it's not quite as easy, right? We might get more weld on the bottom than the top. But ultimately, if my weld is to be equal, it must be half on the bottom and half on the top, so that I know this is a half and this is a half. Okay, now my size is going to go where? To the left, right? Now, what if I have this? Let me make it the same.
It means the other side, the fillet weld is gonna be 3/8 by 1/4 inch.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It's gonna be a different size.
Okay, so this is an unequal leg. This also will require a drawing. Why? Why would I require a drawing for something like this and not like this?
Because you wanna know which side is gonna be, which leg is gonna be 3/8 and which leg is gonna be.
Good, yeah, of course, because this doesn't tell us which way it goes, right? It could be a 1/4 inch tall and 3/8 long, or 3/8 tall and a 1/4 inch.
So there's no standard on which one is indicated by the first,
There's no
the first
standard
measure.
that way. Now, here's the thing. If I'm welding thick to thin, where is my bigger weld gonna go?
the bigger the.
Right, the thicker plate. So, sometimes we can also start to use our logic and go, oh, okay, it's probably this, but let me ask and make sure, because I don't want to assume, because it does what? It makes an ass out of you and me. Okay? Don't assume, ask. Hey, I need a drawing for this. I need to make sure I'm putting this in the right place. Well, we can assume and logically that yes, it's gonna go to that thicker plate. Sometimes it doesn't. So we need to make sure we have the right information. Okay, so this is the size. It is measured by the
Shortest leg?
shortest leg, yes. Okay, now, to the right of the symbol, what do I have? No cheating, not cheating on them. There is no cheating in symbols.
That is the length.
Good, excellent, length.
One is length, yeah.
Okay, wait. So, what am I talking about? If there is nothing here, it is assumed what?
The whole span.
The whole span, it is a continuous weld from one end to the other. And I mean one end to the other. I don't want no chipped out. Oh, well, I kind of missed here. I want it all the way from one end to the other. If I have something here, what is this telling me? I need a particular size, right? So, okay, so that's going to give me a 3/8 by 1/4 inch fillet weld on the other side, and I'll make it 6 inches long. What is something else that can define?
Spacing,
Tell me what it is. You guys know what it is. Center to center spacing or pitch. Pitch is the center to center spacing. So we're going to have a dash, and then this is going to be my center to center spacing. So, there's my 6 inch weld. Where am I going to measure from?
Center,
The center. And how far am I going to go?
8 inches.
Okay, so we're going to go 8 inches, so we know that this is the center of this. What is that space in between? How can I figure it out?
4 inches.
8 minus 6 is?
Oh,
Okay, so I can take my pitch minus my length, and it will give my end to end. Okay? All right. What is something else used to describe how to make my fillet weld?
If it's concave,
Okay, what is that called? What is that word called?
Finish? Was it finish? No.
No, that would be the finish, that would be how you get it there. There's something else, there's another word, starting with a C. It's called another word for shape.
Shape.
Contour, good. We have contour. So what is our contours, guys? What kind of contours can we have? I think I'm thinking.
Flat.
Hold on. I gotta give us some more drawing room here. All right, so we have flat or flush. What does it look like?
Flat.
Right? Okay. What's the next one?
Okay.
Concave. It goes in like a cave, right? If I can spell, we can have it. What does it look like? In like a cave, right? All right. What's the next one? Convex like a belly. And it goes which way?
Out.
Out. Now, how do I apply this to my fillet weld? Where am I going to put it? How am I going to show you that I want that specific contour?
Oh, yeah, at the, yeah, underneath the length. Like on the
So
side.
we're going to be right next to it, okay? Now, what are the different ways that I can get it? What are the finishing methods? Do you guys remember what it was?
Pounding or hammering,
All right, hold on.
grounding.
Chip, rah,
Yeah, there you go.
chip, rah, okay. Chip, rah. C is for?
Cutting?
Disappointed, guys.
Chipping?
Chipping. H is for?
Hammering.
M is for? Am I gonna do this in the field? No, right? Not my job. P,
Pulverized. No.
Planishing. Planishing is like a mechanical hammer. G, grinding. R, rolling. U, dealer's choice. Good job. Unspecified. Okay. Huh?
Como te da la gana.
All right, now what are we going to, where are we going to put that? Where are we going to put our finishing method?
Side note.
No. Remember, I'm giving you all of these. Where am I going to put it? No.
Next to the, yeah, that one.
Okay.
Ground flat.
Anything else that I can add to this to help describe how to perform the weld?
Circle?
Okay, so there's a couple other things, so they would be additional things, right? So we can give it a circle. What's my circle?
All the way around.
All the way around.
Out in the field.
In the field, I play golf in the field, right? All right, there's one more. I'm gonna have to erase this here.
Fishtail.
Fishtail. What can the fishtail contain?
Detail. More detail.
More details, so usually not too much. It's gonna give me a note. It's gonna identify a reference, a drawing, a particular procedure, WPS, a particular process, particular rod or electrode that I need to use. something that maybe you don't need to notate a whole bunch, see page whatever. Okay? How about this one? You guys saw this last night on the symbols I drew for you. What did it mean? Pull out your stuff you guys were working on last night. That drawing I drew. Where's the drawing I drew last night? You have it? All right, somebody tell me what it says. Remind me. What did I tell you about this? You guys remember?
Which part of this?
The part that you welded.
The type of weld that you want, right?
No.
We told you I was gonna do
Man, come on, guys.
All right, you done guessing?
that.
Typical. Now, tell me what is typical. I gave you one symbol there, right? And the tail had a typical in their fishtail, right?
That means that all your pieces are gonna be the same.
Right? So my pieces are all going to be the same. So instead of me detailing out everything, you might just see this. Or you might not even see anything here. This might be like that, and it only detailing one out. So every time that you see this with a typical, we know that's going to be the same for all of these welds. Okay? So it's kind of a shorthand, so I don't have to write it out a bajillion times. I can say the typical weld is this. Here it is. I'm pointing to this one, this one, this one as a typical weld. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, you guys are catching on fast today. I don't know, man. This is like the fastest lecture I've ever had.
Please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for another part.
Weld the world.
Stay tuned for another part. Please like and subscribe.
Weld the world.